Hello everyone and welcome back to the Unemployment Journey, where we'll be travelling across Europe's major leagues and trying to win as many games as possible. And do you know what? It's been a while. There's a lot of games in there, a lot of friendlies, wanting to keep as many players fit as possible, so just played friendlies every 4 days and went on a tour of Australia, had some good results. I'm not going to show you all of them. Then went to the Middle East to get some more money. Again, winning pretty much the whole way through. Won a game against Barcelona, which was good. Again, selling out the stadium, had most of the squad back, and it's nice to come up against. It's nice to test our level against a team like Barcelona. Didn't play a full strength team though, but we were competitive with a lot of their players, and we did really really well. Then a few games against some familiar opposition in Utrecht and Fortuna Sittard, and this really shows a gap of quality between Venlo to Frankfurt, because we're really smashing these teams that we normally would have really really close games with. And you look at this and we're absolutely on fire in front of goal. 2-1 against Nacional, then a 3-1 loss to Sevilla. They're a fantastic side. They played their first team and we got battered. Going back into the league games, really couldn't get any better than this. I'm having so much fun with this team. I really, really am. I'll take you through all the games. 5-1 over Hoffenheim, just completely dominated them from the first minute to the last. Everything was going right in front of goal. Gouiri got another 2 goals, got a couple of assists in there as well. Same with Zivkovic, got I think a hat-trick of assists in that game as well. And then 5-2 over Leipzig. They got a goal, and then Gouiri just went on an absolute madness and got 5 goals. I've never had 5 goals. Well, not had 5 goals in this year's game. I think I've had it maybe on a handful of occasions before, but Gouiri is on fire. Then we played Hoffenheim again. Played essentially a second string team. Won 3-0. Kostic scoring twice. Baldassarre scoring as well, which we like to see. Then 1-0 win over Hertha Berlin. Paulo Bernardo getting the only goal in the game. But, a win to win, and that's the important thing. Dortmund was 2-2. Again, really, really tight game. We went 1-0 up. They got to 2-1. And then Gouiri again putting his scoring boots on, rescuing a point for us there, keeping it. Well, we haven't lost for a while, really. And then 1-0 against Bayer Leverkusen. Gouiri scored a penalty. Nothing more to say about that. Again, I think they were the better team in this, but Leverkusen are an established Champions League team. We are trying to get into that spot, and we did amazingly, amazingly well. Freiburg, 2-0 win. Again, Gouiri getting on the score sheet, Kostic securing the win, and the squad is playing exactly as I would want it to, and I'm absolutely loving it. Then 2-1-0 wins, Benkovic getting the winner against Fortuna Dusseldorf. They're not the best team, but again, away from home, we went there, dominated them, got the win, and that's as much as I can say about that. Then Mainz, 1-0 over them. Gouiri missed the penalty, but Paulo Bernardo got the winning goal. And again, we love to see it. Paulo Bernardo has been doing exceptionally well lately, and there's a big reason why I'm really really happy about that. And let me take you to the transfers, and we've got to start with the outs. A couple of players go out on loan. We got Ambrosini permanently, so he's going to be he's joined us, but I figured I'll loan him out because there's someone else I wanted to bring in as our first choice left back, and I've got that, and I'll show you him in a little bit. But figured send him on loan for the year. I've got Ramon as backup, and then Ambrosini's going to come back, and he should be able to challenge for that first team slot. But I really like him, but he wasn't getting the games, and I want him to develop, so I just thought send him back on loan to Argentina, to Rosario Central, and then see how he goes from there. Simon Sebert, also young central defender, 19 years old. Want him to get some game time. He's gone down to the second division, and he's just going to play games, develop as much as he can, and then hopefully challenge one of the centre-back slots. Maybe if Mustafi's getting on a bit, and we look to sell one of the centre-backs, maybe Vallejo, maybe Mustafi, then he can come in as the fourth choice centre-back in the team. And the big one, Djibril Sow, who has been our best player this year, I've decided to sell for a massive £73 million with £82 million after clauses. Basically, I think it was 55 million up front, then about 20 odd million across 2 or 3 years, and then 9 million after 20 international appearances. Now, he plays for Switzerland, so he's basically Switzerland's best player. He's going to play 20 games very, very quickly, and we'll get that 9 million very soon. So I was really happy with the deal. Paulo Bernardo is essentially identical to him, and when I saw it like this, I thought, where has he gone? Paulo Bernardo. When you see it like this, they're exactly the same player. In my opinion, I think Paulo Bernardo's better. I think Paulo Bernardo will be better long term. And I was kind of happy to do it. Physically, Paulo Bernardo's a little bit there, just a little bit ahead of him. Speed, Djibril Sow has on him. Vision, attacking is the same. Paulo Bernardo's better technically and mentally, both the same defensively. Djibril Sow's just a little bit better in the air. And even if you look at the attributes here, there's really not a lot of difference between them. There really isn't. They're almost the exact same player, and it's just this little bit here which is a difference. But there's a 4 or 5 year gap between the ages there, and I'd rather keep the younger player that we brought in for a fraction, almost a quarter of the amount after the clause. I'm just really, really happy about that. I just thought, I've got a ready-made player here. I don't think I'm going to get this offer coming through again for Djibril Sow, and I just thought, while we can, we'll get the money in, see what we can do with it, and we go from there. What I have done, though, is made a couple of signings. Michel Beltran comes in as a potential centre forward in a couple of years. He's 18, which means in 3 years' time he will count as homegrown at Frankfurt, and that's what I'm hoping for. He'll develop behind Gouiri. He'll be the third choice centre forward in this team. I'm converting him to a left winger as well, just because I think if he cuts in on that right foot, his finishing's not the best, but if he can cut in on that right hand side, maybe finish off some chances being a natural centre forward, then that will work quite nicely. Julien Chawat comes in, and he's a decent central defender. He originally came from our youth academy, and that's the only reason why I wanted to sign him. It's as simple as that. If we look at his career stats, he came from our academy, which means where we only had 19 players registered for the Europa League, we can now register Julien Chawat. So he takes up one of those homegrown slots that Bentabini and Hinteregger couldn't take. So for me, this is just a player who will come in as the second choice behind Benkovic on that left-hand side. And he's been very, very good when we've played him. Benkovic has had a few injury problems since we've come back, and he's done really, really well in the games that he's played. 7.14 average rating, 7.18 average rating across the board, and I like it. You can see that Ambrosini, we've brought in 4.5 million. Happy with that. Sent him back on loan. And the big money transfer that we've made, Gianluca Itta at left back. Arguably, in my opinion, one of the best left backs in the league. He showed that last year at Freiburg. And we'll see here, last year, all competitions, got 4 assists. The season before that, got 7 assists. Comes from our youth academy. He counts as one of those homegrown players. And I tried to get him in the summer, and Freiburg wanted like 50 odd million for him. Then he started to want to leave because Man City were after him as well. And I thought, before Man City get in there, I want to get a bid sorted out for him. So I negotiated this deal, which is, half of what they wanted 6 months ago. And we made the deal, we got the player, and he's been great. You can see here, 1 assist in the 4 games that he's played, 7.13 average rating for me. He's got 5 assists in total in all games this season, and he's one of the best left backs in the league. I'm happy with that. Then finally, Oliver Batista Meyer on loan as literally just a backup to Zivkovic and Sabitzer. That's all he is. I'm not going to keep him permanently. I've got a player coming in the summer, and I'll show you him. Francisco Conceição. Natural on both wings, left-footed. He's got loads of different traits about him, and if you look at him as an inverted winger, he's got all the key stats. And I see him as a really younger version of Zivkovic, and he's joining us for 4 million, and he's not on that high of a wage. I think he's only on something like $9,000 a year. So for 4 million, I'm not going to argue with that. We also have coming in a couple of years, Paquito at left back. This guy looks phenomenal. One of my scouts found him, and I just thought he's 16 and he's got really, really good starting attributes. And I thought and I saw his contract. He hadn't signed a potential contract at Santos at all, so I just thought, let's get him in, and we did just that. Leverkusen wanted Guiri. Of course, they weren't going to get him. Schnitzer was getting interest as well, and you can see there, fantastic right back, 5-star potential at 16 years old. And look at those stats. Those mentors as well, positioning, bravery, teamwork, work rate, all that you'd want in a fullback. And I wasn't going to sell him. And you can see here, we've still got 66 million to spend, 186k a week available to spend on wages as well. And I think this is fantastic. Genuinely, I think we've got a real good base here. The finances are looking really, really healthy. If we get into the Champions League, which if you look at the competitions here, we genuinely might, with level on points with Leipzig, better goal difference. Guiri is a top goal scorer in the league, and we'll see that here, absolutely blowing everyone out. 18 goals in 19 games, and he's been absolutely phenomenal. Sabitzer with 7 assists as well. Trapp, second best goalkeeper in the league as well. We're just doing so well. It will take a massive collapse for us to drop out of the top 4. I think if we can get first or second, I'll be really happy with that. Obviously, Bayer Leverkusen are chasing us in Leipzig as well, but we've got Gladbach, who are 10th in the league, so we should be pretty comfortable for this game. But at the same point, there's a lot of games because of the World Cup, and I will show you the World Cup at some point in this episode, probably after the game. But it's just one of those things where I am so happy with this team. I really enjoy playing with this team as they are, and it really couldn't be going any better than what it is. It's so much fun to play with a team that is so adventurous, that's so attack minded, and I think Wagner needs. Oh no, he's playing for the under-19s today, so Vallejo's going to come in. And we'll go through the team. So Trapp in goal, Toure, Mustafi, Benkovic, Ita, with Ascasibar and Paulo Bernardo in the centre there. And you can see Paulo Bernardo is the perfect player in that role. And Jose Silva will move into that number 10 role, and he's been a revelation lately. Sabitzer on the right, Zivkovic on the left, and Guiri up front. Sabitzer's not been playing too well lately. I want him to pick up a little bit more, but yeah. I didn't realise that he's actually at 28, 29 now. So I might be looking to get a bit more of a younger player come in, and we'll see how some of these players do. Obviously, players like Jose Silva, you guys haven't seen too much of, but at the same time, he's a talented 18, 19-year-old, and we've got such an incredibly exciting team. And I think the more we can develop these players, I think the more the longer that will stay here for. Players like Kamieds, players like Burhan, they're just breaking into the team now, and within a couple of years we'll have some homegrown Frankfurt talents in this team, and it's just going to be so much more enjoyable for us to play with, as they're getting in behind us now. No, Rashika's offside, so we get away with that one. But yeah, I think the more younger players that we can sort of bed into the team, the more exciting it's going to be for us to play these games. As Gibraltar was great for us by his overall rating, or by his average rating in the games. He was our best player, and he was last year as well. I just think when I saw the direct comparison with Paulo Bernardo, I just thought, I'm not going to get this offer again. And I thought we just might as well sell and get rid of him. He wanted to leave anyway, so he was being a bit unhappy, bringing the mood down as well. So, which is not what you want for a team leader either. So I just wanted players that wanted to be here as well. And Zivkovic finds Ita, Guiri's header, and that's a decent move then. That's what I like about Ita as well. I haven't just bought a player just because he's homegrown. He's legitimately the best left back I could find. He just happened to be from Frankfurt as well. As Paulo Bernardo goes close then. He's getting forward. He's breaking the lines. He's a really talented defender. As Benkovic goes close as well, and we're starting to really dominate them here in the opening 12 minutes. Just need to get a bit more of a foothold on possession, and maybe we can break through with the lead here. As Ascasibar and Toure doing really well on that right hand side. Sabitzer now, what can he do? He puts the ball into Guiri, who's scored his 20th of the season, 19 in the league, and what a player he is at 22 years old, and he's just absolutely destroying the league. He's by far the reason that we're top of the league at the moment, and he's broken behind them again. Can he find the finish? He does. 20 league goals for Guiri, and we're 2-0 up, and I'm really enjoying this. You can see here Toure puts the long ball forward. He sees the space, he runs into it, sees the goalkeeper coming in, finds a far post. Wasn't in the corner, but finds the back of the net. And we're going to stay top if we keep this up. Silva breaks, puts a long ball ahead of Guiri. He's got Sabitzer in support, but can he go alone? He is, but that's a good save by their goalkeeper to deny a hat-trick for Amin Guiri. And Zivkovic puts in the ball, Benkovic's header. Guiri taps it in. It looks like he was offside there. He was, and that denies him his hat-trick. He's not... They've not got anyone on the posts, but Benkovic... Right, I might have to change it up a little bit at half-time, because Guiri's going to be offside for every single corner that we're going to be taking in that case. And I'm just going to praise the team here. They've been magnificent in this half. Zivkovic puts the ball in, that's been headed out, and we've got to be careful on the counter-attack here. And Bolo's gone forward, great tackle from Ita there. Rashica now, and Paulo Bernardo's got the ball. What can he do here? It's not the best ball. They've cleared it now. They're surging forward here, and Bolo on the left is a bit of a danger man. Kramer into Zinchenko. I didn't even realise I had Zinchenko there. As they've got the ball, and Trapp tips that one over. Trapp was getting some bids in as well from Newcastle for about 10-15 million pounds as well. And I just thought, we're not going to get a goalkeeper as good as Trapp at the moment. He's German as well. Gouiri skips past that challenge there. And I just thought, we'll keep him until the end of the year. If we can get a top German goalkeeper, ideally, then we will. Silva's header is saved by their keeper. That's the idea. Get a relatively younger, well, I'd say younger. It's not hard to find a younger goalkeeper than Trapp, but ideally German, ideally one that fits into our system. That's, got great distribution, great reflexes as well, good shot stopper. That's what we need, and I just haven't been able to find a really top upgrade on him. Obviously, if we get Champions League football, that's going to open so many doors on so many of these positions. I think getting a better centre back than Mustafi, probably a must. Getting a better goalkeeper as well. Great finish there from Mbolo. But yeah, getting a better goalkeeper, getting a better centre back will prevent things like this, and we'll see that again. Toure gets attracted there, and there's a massive gap right here where Mustafi really should be, and I think he's there. He's been dragged by the man, and a more competent centre back would stop that. And as good as he's been for us, I think we could do better. He's 29, will be 30 by the end of this year. Probably time to get a new centre back in. Obviously, Champions League football will be a massive help to us, and we've exploited some transfer listed players in the likes of Benkovic. In my opinion, is Champions League quality. He just wasn't needed at Atletico Madrid, and we picked him up for 7.75 million. As Zivkovic is blocked, and Paulo Bernardo hits a bar. Gouiri, and there's his hat-trick. Absolute clinical poacher in Amine Gouiri, as Bernardo, that'll count as an assist for him, but not too sure it should. We're getting men forward. Great ball cross from Silva, blocked, and then that hit the bar. Gouiri on hand to poke that in the back of the net. I say poke, he's absolutely smashed it into the back of the net. And we are absolutely clinical. And I will make a couple of changes because I feel like we've got the game won. I feel like we could rest some players. We've got the cup game against Leverkusen in a couple of days, so I want to make sure that some players are fit. So we'll do just that. So we'll put Ramon on for Ita. We'll put Kostic on for Zivkovic, and we'll save the third one just in case of an injury. But with an hour played, we've been fantastic, genuinely fantastic. I think 13 efforts created, and 11 of them on target. As Ita, I don't want him to get sent off at this point, because that will just change the whole complexion of the game. It was great interception there from Silva. Gouiri on the ball now, holding it up really well. Zivkovic now, but subs have come on. Kostic has played really well on that left hand side when he has played as well. But this is the reason why I've been so excited about this team. And you can see Leverkusen have gone a goal behind, which is massive for us if they drop points, because they're one of the best teams in the league. They're chasing us and Leipzig down as Ramon's cross is blocked. He's going to get the ball and reset possession. He's come inside into Escasibar. Now Silva back to Escasibar. Now Toure on the ball. He's in the box. Into Gouiri. That's blocked. And he can't manage to get a shot in there. And what I will do is take Escasibar off for Kamyid, play some younger players. And I know I was saving it for in case of an injury, but the game's won, and I want Kamyid to play as much as possible. I think that would just be the best thing for his long-term development, and he deserves to play, really. At some point, I want to get rid of Escasibar. He was exactly what I needed when I bought him, but I think his value is a lot higher than what I bought him for, and he's on 91,000 a week, which is just so much money for what he is and what he offers. I think there's not too much disparity between him and Kamyid now, who's on less than 10% of that. And in a couple of years' time, I think Kamyid's going to be better than him. So I want Kamyid to play, and I think Escasibar would be the most natural person to bring out of the team. Then we've got two long-term centre midfield options as Trapp holds on to that ball in the likes of Paulo Bernardo, who's 20, 21, and Kamyid, who's obviously like 18, I think 18 or 19 now. It's already gone. I think he's about 18 or 19 now. And yeah, Kostic puts in the ball, Silva's header, that's saved, and Zinchenko clears. And Silva's really unlucky there not to get the goal. But we've got a throw in here. Toure into Kamyid, back to Toure once more. Can he put the ball in? He plays it back to Kamyid, and Gouiri's header finds the back of the net, and he's got 4. What an unbelievable finisher he is. Absolutely clinical. And we could be breaking records here, as Kamyid puts the ball in, Gouiri nods the ball on. Keeper should do a lot better there, but it doesn't matter. Gouiri's got 4, and he has been dominant today. Ball comes in, Ramon heads it out, Silva will pick that up, and a great first time ball over to Sabitzer, who's beating his man. It was pretty easy to go past him there. Ball in, Kostic is beaten in the air. Don't think he would have got to it anyway, but that's full time. Gladbach 1, Gouiri 4, and what an absolute unbelievable performance that was. 4 goals for Gouiri, fantastic stuff that. And people want to sign Gouiri, but they're not going to get him. And where should we pick up for next time? I think let's do we'll do the second leg of whoever we play in the Europa League. Obviously, this is, I think, the second place teams against the third place Champions League teams. So I think, because Monaco, who were in our group, and they're on this side of the draw. These are the teams that came out of the Champions League. Some big teams in there: Inter Milan, AC Milan. But I think we've got some decent chance to progress quite far in the Europa League. So let's do the second leg, whenever that is, in March. We should have our youth intake at that point as well. So we'll come back for that second game. It should be around this point. And then maybe we'll come back for the Bayern Munich game or the Leipzig game after that. But that's going to be the end of this episode. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for future episodes, and make sure you hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss a video. And I'll see you next episode.